Hello friends, let's look at strings in this video. String is an object in Java and string class is present in package java.lang. Strings are used to store the sequence of characters. Now let's look at string constant pool. String pool is a storage area in Java heap. A heap is a storage area which stores the objects, and string part is a part of a Java heap where string literal values are stored. Whenever a new string literal is created, the Java virtual machine checks the string pool for the value. If that value is found, then the reference to the string is returned, else a new string is created and its reference is returned. Now let's look at this diagram. Here we have a heap area which contains a string pool area where the string literals are stored. Here Java and Python are two string literals. If you look at the statement string s1 equals to Java, here the Java virtual machine looks into the string pool and checks if the string Java is present. If it's present, then s1 will point to that string, else a new string Java is created and s1 will point to that string. In this case, since no string Java is present in the string pool, the new string Java is created and s1 will point to this string Java. The second statement, string s2 equals to Python, will create a new string Python, stores it in string pool, and s2 will point to this string Python. Now let's look at this third statement, string s3 equals to Java. Since Java is already present in the string pool, no new string is created and s3 will point to the same string Java which was created earlier. This means that s1 and s2 will point to the same string Java. Now the statement s1 equals to s2 will return you false because s1 and s2 are pointing to two different strings. And s1 equals to s3 will return you true because s1 and s3, these two reference variables, are pointing to the same string Java. Now let's look this practically. The first statement creates a string Java, stores it in string pool, and s1 will point to that string. String s2 will create a new string Python, stores it in string pool, and s2 points to Python. The third statement, string s3 equals to Java. Here the JVM sees that there already exists a string Java in a string pool and s3 will point to the same string Java. So s1 and s3 are pointing to this same string. So the statement s1 equals to s3 will return you true and s1 equals to s2 will return you false because s1 and s2 are pointing to two different strings in a string pool. Let's execute this program and look at the output. If you look at the output, the first statement returns you false and the second statement returns you true. Let's look at the statement string s4 equals to new string welcome. Here we are using a new keyword to create a string with value welcome, and a new object will be created even if the string welcome already exists. Now let's look at the statement string s equals to new string James. How many strings are created by this statement? If the string James already exists in the string pool, then one string is created on the heap. And if string James is not present in the string pool, then two strings will be created, one on the heap and the another one on the string pool. Now let's look at the string constructors. The first constructor creates the string with no characters in it, that is, the string will be empty. The second is accepting the character array as the parameter, and a new string could be created with the value which is present in the character array. The third constructor accepts the string as a parameter, and a new string will be created with the value of the past string. Similarly, fourth and fifth statements accept the string buffer and string builder, and the respective strings would be created with the values present in the string buffer and string builders. Now let's look at these practically. Here the first statement creates a empty string and no value would be displayed when we try to display string s1. The second statement creates a string object. A new string object is created with value Java, and printing s2 would print the value Java. The third statement accepts the character array hello and creates the new string object with the value hello, and printing s3 would print the value hello at the output. And the fourth statement again accepts the string s3 which has a value hello, and printing s4 would print the value hello at the output. Now let's execute the program and look at the output. As you see, the first statement prints no value, second statement prints Java, and third and fourth print statements would print hello as the output. Now let's look at this diagram. The diagram contains a memory area heap which stores the objects, and string pool is a memory area on a heap where string literals are stored. The statement string str equals to hello creates a string literal hello and stores it on a string pool, and the reference variable str points to this newly created string hello. The statement str.concat world concatenates string hello with world, a new string literal is created and stored on a string pool. But if you look at the reference variable str, it still points to hello. This shows that strings are immutable. That is, a string object once created cannot be changed. This statement creates a string reference variable str2 and it points to a newly created string by concatenating str, that is hello, with these exclamation marks. Now let's look at this example. Here str will point to a newly created string hello on string pool. The statement str.concat world will create a new variable hello world on a string pool, but str will still point to hello, and this statement prints hello at the output. This statement concatenates hello with these exclamation marks, and the concatenation is assigned to str2. So printing str2 will print hello concatenated with these exclamation marks. Now let's see how a string behaves while concatenating with integers. str plus 1, 2, 3. Now here plus, as I said, is an overloaded operator which concatenates the string with the other data types. Here string is concatenated with an integer. Now this integer will be converted to string and then concatenated to str. That is, the integer 1 to 3 will be converted to the string 1, 2, 3 and then concatenated with str. The output str3 will print hello 1, 2, 3 to the output. Now let's look at this example str plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. In this case, string str, that is hello, will be concatenated with 1, then with 2 and then with 3. At the first time, 1 will be converted into its string format 1 and concatenated to string. So it will be hello 1, 2 is converted to string format 2 concatenated with hello 1 and it will be hello 1, 2, and similarly integer 3 is converted to string format 3 and concatenated with hello 1, 2, and the output will be again hello 1, 2, 3. Now let's execute this program and look at the output. Now if you look at this, hello 1, 2, 3 is displayed at the output.